we go. Um, so you know what today is, right?
Right, it's the last day.
Yeah.
I know. Ah,
You and Reg made it. You guys made it. I'm not
right.
sure. He texted me, and so I'm not sure if he's going to be able to make it today. He's going to try. Uh,
Mhm.
But it's a day he's going to watch this. And so today's a day to celebrate. It's so
Right.
exciting.
8 weeks.
8 weeks.
Mhm.
8 weeks. Was it long, arduous for you, or was it
Oh,
not
no,
long
I'm
enough?
like, "Dang, it's been 8 weeks already?" Like, 8 weeks really went past. Uh-huh.
Yeah, it really flew by for me as well. But it's so exciting. I'm so excited for you guys because it's the end. You have gone through like all of the steps, and I think you've made some significant great progress, but I want to know from you. First off, today is succession planning. So you have the video, you have
Mhm.
a full document, comprehensive document, to get you on your way. Um, but I want to answer any lingering questions that you have, no matter what they are. And then like I want to hear what wins did you have? What can we
Okay, so I think the program has been really good. It made me open my eyes to like, I don't know, I feel like it made me slow down a bit and like focus on certain things or certain like categories. So with our I think it was the last session or the one before last, I had made the guide that you had told me, well, the evaluation slash quiz. And I
Yeah,
think that had me to see like where some people struggle at. Also, as far as observations, I'm not doing like just looking at everything at once, just focusing on categories. So this
yeah.
week's observations has been interactions because we
Okay.
are getting ready for our state to come as far as receiving our 5 stars, and that's a big category is interactions. And so just where I'm just excited to work on it now that it's like broken down into like pieces.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. Do you think since you know, instead of during your observation, instead of looking at everything, you know, okay, I'm only looking at this one specific thing. Do you think it will make like your life easier and it will help you in your role?
mhm. I think that will help me just because like I said, I'm looking at one piece at a time. I don't have to focus on everything you're doing wrong. And like it's some good things in there with interactions, and I can just like really focus on interactions or the next week diapering or the next week, like different things. Like so it made me like slow down and just like hyper focus on certain areas.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah. That is exciting. Well, how do you feel about that? Like, does that recognizing that you have a plan in place, like a
Mhm.
clear plan?
I guess it
Like,
made me feel a little more confident as far as like doing like observations and really learn like knowing what to do to help people. I know when I first started, I'm like, I don't know where to start. Like they don't get this, they don't get that. And I done told them about it, but it made me
yeah.
like slow down and really see like what do they really need help in or what they might struggle in and not know they're struggling in.
Yeah. And that's ultimately when you do that, you're prioritizing them and their need, and
Mhm.
you're able to say, this is the exact thing where they need support. And then it helps you to figure out what's the best way to support them. What more things do you need to do to support them? As opposed to when like you were saying, you're looking at everything and
Mhm.
it's hard to correct someone's patterns of behavior when they're getting feedback on a bunch of different things.
Right.
But if you're in a position to say, no, this very specific thing, let's pick it apart Let's identify, you know, the skills that you need to be using and support them in their confidence building. Like that prioritizes the learner for sure.
Mhm. Yeah, but I think they're more happy with it too. I feel like they're taking more in now that I'm just focusing on like one thing versus, like you said, just everything at once, and it's not like over information or
Yeah. Yeah, it's not
buttloads.
overwhelming.
Mhm.
I love it.
Mm.
I love it. Yay! Oops. I got too excited there. Okay. All right. Well, was there anything else?
Mhm. Honestly, I think that's it. Just like better as in, feel like I don't know, like it just feels different. It feels like I'm like more eager to do it now, and then it's not like, oh, I gotta go do this.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I know what I'm gonna do when I go in there. I know what, try to help as far as fixing things. And
Mhm.
then just doing the sandwich rule, like, hey, you did this good, you did this good. We can work on this. You did this really good also.
Right, right. It really, when we have a structure in place, like a well-developed structure and purpose in place, it really does help us as well. Like
Hmm.
supporting the learner aside, like it helps us with our energy, our level of anxiety and stress, like preparing to do the training, how, you know, whatever it looks like. It really, it does a lot other than simply, okay, now they know how to do what they're supposed to do.
Hmm. Right.
Yeah. Do you think like, or, and if not, that's okay too. Do you have any thoughts on how this might save you time, like how it might save you time now compared to before the 8 weeks? Or not really?
I haven't really thought of that, but I feel like it is saving more time because you're breaking it down
Mhm.
into bits and pieces versus before it was all over. So it's like you're gonna have to come back and re-explain this and this one
Um,
need this one and this. And if you're taking it slower, like everybody's on interactions this week, and so you can kind of it'll speed up in the long run. It might seem long, but like now they get it, and you don't have to come back and keep redoing that same training.
right, right. So like you said, over the long haul, over the long term, it saves time. And sometimes it does, you know, it's funny you say that, Archie. Sometimes it does seem like, oh, I got all of this to do up
Mhm.
front. And maybe, but it does make up for it on the back end.
Right, because you don't have to go back and retrain when you're going slower.
Right. Yes, Lord.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what if you had to think about mm, the last 7 weeks and all the materials that were shared with you? What what was like the most challenging point for you?
Mm,
Or even the
I would say
concept?
in the beginning, maybe like noticing the gaps or noticing what's holding not only myself back, but like the teachers back or the directors back, and like trying to see what their gaps were, or
Mhm.
like just taking the time to listen to see like why they didn't do this or why they didn't like what they're struggling with, because sometimes they don't know what they're struggling with. So just like paying attention.
Yeah. Yeah. What why would I'm just curious, why was that a challenge for you at that point?
I think because when working in childcare, I guess you expect people to know certain things or like it's like common sense, but like you have to remember some people come from different walks of life. Some people is not as educated as far as like going to school. Some people don't have years of experience in childcare, so I had to like think like, okay, like she really don't know, or um this is a first for them, so they don't know how to work together. They don't know what it looks like for two teachers to be in a room. So she's just, copying what the other teacher does. And
Right, right, right.
mhm.
Yeah, that's that's really thoughtful. Like
Mhm.
it
Or how to
really
how they actually process information, like me telling them something versus me showing them on the computer, like just different things, like how they process it and how they would like what works best for them, and not everybody is the same. I can't show a video for all 26 people.
right, right,
Mhm.
right. And sometimes even the same video isn't
Mhm.
gonna work, right? So
Right.
like I've seen I know I've watched videos that like the content is just presented in one way and I'm like that makes absolutely zero sense. And then there's another video, it's the same content, but the way it's presented is different. And I'm like, oh, I get it now. So
Right.
yeah, there's so many variables that when you look at what are possible gaps that are getting in the way of people learning something, it really does force you to, like you said before, slow down and be thoughtful about, well, who are they and what do they know or what don't they already know?
Mhm. I'd say that was a little challenging too, like, just, not really like, getting somebody to open up that not somebody that's their friend or something, like, they'll talk to their friends and tell them, but, like, they I guess people don't wanna talk to the director or, like, they don't wanna say what's wrong, so coming from the like, trying to get to know them, trying to relate to them,
Hmm.
has I feel like makes them open up a little more.
Yeah, yeah. Would you like moving forward, since this is our last group session, moving forward, how are you thinking? Like, how will you move forward? Like, what are your next immediate short term? What are your next steps in the short term? But then, like, long term, what has the accelerator helped you think about, like, for long term?
Short term, I guess getting our staff ready for our, I think it's called Q. They changed the word. It used to be rated license, so you get 1 star, 2 star. It's like QUIS or something like that now.
Okay.
So short term, getting them ready for that. We're going to apply for it next month, November, and then maybe they come out next year sometimes, as far as between January and I want to say like August. So
Mhm.
getting them ready for that and prepared and confident. Long term, it's just like maybe making up different like coming up with some type of guide to like, okay, day one is or week one is observations, week two is this. Look for this, like just coming up with some type of guide to like keep going.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Is that long term or short term, the guides?
Actually, that's actually short term now that I think of it, because it should take a long term. But I guess long term would be eventually getting to where I can train somebody to train somebody.
I love it.
Mhm, and
I
so
love it. And why? Why are you thinking that? I love that.
it's just because I'm not always in the classroom, and, like, maybe training another teacher that's there, like, or training the lead teachers to be able to train their teacher like, their assistants
Mhm.
on how they wanna do it. Because every classroom is different, and they might not follow I mean, they know to follow, like, the state rules, but they might do it differently. They might not do diaper changing at 9, they might do it at 10, so just getting them to the point where they know what to look for or know
Mhm.
like, "Hey, this person might not learn this way. Let me try it this way," or "Let me just slow down and stop talking and see if they say anything or have any questions."
You think maybe slowing down and not saying anything are tricky? Where does that come from?
I'm learning, I'm trying. It's so crazy. Yeah, I actually did it to, Brooklyn's dad. It was, like, a couple of days ago. I forgot what I asked him. And I just stood there and you could tell like he was doing his hands, he was looking side to side. I was like, "It's hard for I was thinking in my head, it's hard for me too. I want to say something to like clear out that
The
no
silence.
noise. And I'm like, no, 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 don't say that, don't say that.
And
So I've been
and
trying to practice it.
and eventually he said
He
something.
just talking, 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 talking. Okay. He was like, "Are you mad?" I'm like, "Mad? No, I'm not mad. I'm just thinking like."
I'm thinking and listening and giving you
Uh-huh.
space. I'm giving you
Right.
space. Yeah.
Mhm.
It is uncomfortable, but once you, right, like once you specifically learn how to like are comfortable with silence and like intentional silence, and then when you know start you realize like okay when to go ahead and jump in and say something versus no, I'm just going to keep giving them space, time and
Right.
space and silence to
Mhm.
process. It gets easier, and like you said, it makes you kind of like
Right. And I was trying not to laugh because he was struggling bad with it. Matter of fact, I think it was us because we were trying to figure out a plan for Brooklyn as far as taking her to practice and things like that. And I think I asked him some kind like, um, how are you gonna get her to practice or something like that? And of course, he probably would have, if I would have stepped right in, I'm like, oh, well, you need to do this and I'm gonna do that. So I was just quiet and so he was quiet at first, and then all of a sudden he just started talking, talking, talking. Usually I the fix to it or come up with the plan,
mm-hmm.
I guess,
And
because
that's an example of problem solving, right?
mhm,
And so when you are training other people and you need them to learn problem solving skills or demonstrate problem solving skills, offering them, and it really is an offer, right? Offering them silence and space, silence as a means of time and space to process and think through it. It really does. It's an offering to them. It's an opportunity for them to practice problem solving
mhm,
or like showing initiative, being confident in their abilities of what they know, and so stepping up and speaking up. So it serves a lot of purposes.
right.
It does. Yay, I'm so proud of you, Archie.
Thank
Yay.
you.
Yeah, I mean that's awesome. That's awesome. So in our conversation so far, did you get a chance to look at the succession planning information for today?
No, ma'am, I haven't got a chance yet.
That's okay. That's okay. Um, do you have any questions? Like if you go through each week in your mind right now, so we have the audit, like the SWOT analysis, excuse me, we have the gap analysis, we have the design and plan, resource development, implementation, and then we have, can't believe implementation, evaluation.
Right, about to say evaluation.
Yep. And then you have train the trainer. So it's either you or, in the future, someone else. And now we have succession planning, which is what's the plan for the future.
Mhm.
So in all of that, is there anything that you think, oh yeah, let me add, let me be sure I'm clear on X, Y, and Z?
Not at the moment. So far, me coming up with the questions and then doing the observations has been working for me. So, I know maybe I might have questions later if I come up with something else, maybe, or another resource or something. But as of right now, I don't. It's like it's working. So I think I'm doing it pretty right if I'm, getting kind of feedback, if you would say. I know I had the problem with I don't know what they don't know. They tell me they're good and then I find out that, oh, well, maybe they're not. But
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
so far it's been working for me.
And how do you like when you think about it, or when you think about that, like, oh, they say they're good, but they're not good. Like, how do you know, right? Like, how will
Um,
you know in the context of your organization and the people that you're responsible for training? if you tell them something and you say you got it and they say, yeah, I got it. I know what I'm doing. Like, how will you know?
I guess I know through their actions or what they're doing. Also, just asking like open-ended questions. 'Cause I feel like if they're able to like tell me step from step or different things, then they pretty much got it. It's just about implementation or like finding a gap to why they're not doing it, or like what's in the way, what's stopping you from
Mhm,
doing it.
mhm. Have you found like in this time, do you have some, I'm just scrolling through, as a reminder, have you identified some reasons other than lack of experience and lack of knowledge? Is there anything else that you can identify as getting in the way or potentially getting in the way of their learning and developing skills?
Um, Not really. I think one thing that might get in the way, because I've not heard teachers say it before, oh, I didn't do it because I didn't have time, or I didn't do it because, like I did this and the other teacher was doing this, and just different things. So I've been thinking of like, okay, how can I get them both working together? Like they both, which I still got other categories to do other than interactions and different things, but how can, like, I'm thinking once I get done with all the categories, if they would work better together as a team versus, "Oh, I did this and she did that. Oh, that wasn't my job, like, so and so else
Um,
was supposed to do it, but they're both working together."
that element of teamwork.
Mm,
Yeah, that can definitely be challenging, but it is in fact an opportunity for training. Not only the skills themselves, but like the diapering or cleaning. Not not only that, but the concept of effective teamwork
mhm,
and or collaborative teamwork. Those are those are great opportunities for training. And there's a lot of resources out there that you could tap into. But you also know how to develop a training on your own.
mhm. I was just about to say that, if it
Yeah.
ever comes about, which I feel like sometimes, like it haven't, no one has said anything as of yet, but I know we're getting a lot of new staff members, and just me watching the camera, so just walking through, like they're be just standing somewhere and the other teacher is doing all the work. So I don't want the other teacher to get a burnout. So, but I thought about like if it do happen to come up or if it is bothering somebody, like you said, doing the whole going through and just doing the teamwork and doing scenarios. Okay, if this teacher is doing this, what should you be doing? Or how
Mhm.
can you help this teacher? How can you what happens like how do you notice if a teacher need help? Because
Yeah.
sometimes I know that's a big thing too. You don't know that that person need help.
That's a great question. That's a great either question to ask or activity to work around is what does it look like? What does needing help look like? Or overwhelm, what does it look like? And honestly, Artrice, it might even be worth posing the question, why why would someone not work
Mhm,
with another person on their team, or why would someone not step in and help, right? Because
right.
that also, by asking that question, it requires them to do a couple things. Intellectually, it requires them to understand what does it look like when someone is overwhelmed, right? So they have to know what that looks like. And then they have to identify, well, why wouldn't I or someone else step in to help someone in need, right? So that's an element of reflection and honesty. And then talking about that, right? So even if they put it out there and they could say a multitude of things, but that then becomes like information for you. It becomes data for you to then address, right? So if they say, oh, every time I try to help that person, they snap at me and they say they don't want any help. Okay, so in that case, the issue is how to receive help, how to receive support.
Mhm.
If it's, I don't know what they're doing and I don't know how to do it, they've been at this longer than I have, that's an opportunity to train on confidence and skill development, right?
Mhm.
Um, oh, that child doesn't like me. And so whenever I step in to help with that child, it makes matters worse. Oh, okay, that's another, instance where we might need to make some sort of either training or address a different issue.
Mhm. Okay. Like I said, that question haven't came up yet, but I got a feeling that it might come up. We'll see.
Yeah, yeah. And I love that you're thinking about, like, you now have capacity to think about what might come up.
Mhm.
Because that's, oftentimes training is reactive. It's, oh, someone made a mistake, or, oh, we got in trouble for, we didn't get our 5 stars or what have you. Oh, we need to now train for it. It's reactive. But what you're saying is, I know this is coming. I know it's coming. How can I prepare for it? That's being proactive. And it provides you a lot more time to plan. And that's, as you know, that's when the training and the skills will stick, when you
Mhm.
plan appropriately for it. So I'm proud of you for thinking that,
Thank you.
yeah, it's coming. It's coming. So let me show you. I'm gonna, can you see this document?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So this is the succession planning, and it's for just continuous improvement, right? So as you move forward, you always want to have a plan. And the plan is not a to-do list or simply a checklist, but it's more high level and setting some goals. There's some short-term goals, like immediate, like we talked about, but then there are some longer term goals that might, an opportunity for you to explore. So in this, it's just a review of what you've accomplished, and you have to be so proud of yourself. This one's for Reg. Yay, Reg! You did it! Yay! Okay, so these are for Reg, right? Because we've
Mhm.
gone over those with you, and again, this is week 8, and this is your moment to shine. But as you go through um, planning and succession planning, the first thing I want to encourage you to do is to get your grounding, right? Like, don't say, okay, I went through the 8 weeks and let me put it over there on a shelf, but rather, okay, this is a part of the work that I'm going to do, and I'm going to put it in place now. So you want to stabilize it and launch it as you move forward. You always want to focus on ERA, engage, retain, and apply. And then there are some, you want to look for indicators that you're getting it right. And this is some things for you to consider. And then the next phase as you go along is you need to remember when we talked about the resource development, and I said you want to have a list or a toolkit of resources. This is where that comes into play. So you want to monitor, right? Like, keep track of the resources you're creating, the metrics, that just keep track, keeping an eye on all of it, and then make small adjustments as you need. You don't need to revamp the whole thing in the middle of it, but rather small little adjustments. And then the next thing you want to do is, when like, let's say you get to the end of a training or the end of a year and you guys
Mhm.
have strategic planning, this is where you would do that. It's like, okay, how do we want to grow? You know, if the executive director says, I'm going to hire another person to help with training and you're going to oversee them, right? Like that's an opportunity for expansion and scaling, right? So enlarging the scale of capacity. And so here are some steps for when that happens, right? Or if you say, you know what, my time here is done and I'm going to move forward. Again, this is an approach that you can take and an approach that the organization can take. And this is always fun, right? So during that strategic planning and scaling for expansion, part of what you want to think about is efficiency and effectiveness. And so how can we make this thing more efficient, right? So you optimize it. So you create a video, like a 5-minute video for one thing, and you say, okay, I want new people to watch this video. Cool. Hey, for those of you as a refresh, I want you to watch a 2-part video series. The first one is that initial one, right? Even though you've watched it, I
Mhm.
want you to watch it again, but look for different things, right? And so like you're able to optimize what you have and be creative, right? More
We
innovative.
were just talking about that today. I had an admins meeting right before this one, and
Oh,
it's a meeting on well, we had to take the training too, which I finished it Friday, but it's some interactions and engagement. And so I thought that it would be good for the teachers to watch that one. And not only once, you can just keep watching it, taking the training, which is what's really good. Because I feel
yeah.
like whatever you didn't get the first time, you get it. And the more you watch it is the more the stuff will stick.
Right, right. And you start to see additional things, right? It's
Mhm,
like reading a book the second, third time, reading a Bible verse the
mhm,
10th, right? Like the ninth and 10th time. You're like, oh, I've been reading
mhm,
this thing my whole life. Oh, but the context, right? Like the situation changes, and so it lands differently.
mhm.
Mhm. Yep, yep. That's really good. And then um, so here's if you need to do a quarterly review, here's a process that I would encourage you to take. And do you remember when we did the assessment or the audit, the we looked at the alignment of like what is the vision, what's the mission, what are the learning outcomes, who are the people, all of that.
Mhm,
This falls in line with that, right? So we have your alignment check. Okay, we did the check and then we have the effectiveness. So that's ultimately your gap analysis. When it comes to efficiency, it's partial gap analysis as well as development in your plan, right? So as you move forward, if either you have downtime or you know that like in a week or 2 weeks, you're going to have to ramp things up, here's another checklist, a process that you can follow.
thank you.
You're welcome. And we got more. And so this one is around building your support system. So there's a couple ways you want to do that. So you and Reg and you are peers, right? Like, and we
Mhm,
talked about this. You both have gone through the program at the same time and together. And even though you have different areas of work and different levels of experience, you're still a peer because you both can go back to the same content conversations. So use your peers, use your colleague, your accelerator colleagues, but then there's also your internal um, person. And you have to identify who that is, right? Um, it could just be anyone that you trust that will give you honest feedback, but in a way that's not hurtful.
Yeah,
You know?
constructive.
Yeah, right. So that's always important. The other thing for you is because Michelle didn't go through the accelerator as a program, but I went through all the steps with her. So she might also be a peer that you can, um, reflect with. And then keep on learning. And so one of the things that I have done is on my website, there's 2 resources that you can always access, and they're regularly updated. It's the podcast page on my website, and then the blog. And so the blog is, I take whatever is a problem that either clients have mentioned in the past or someone is asking me, I end up writing about it with really practical advice. And so those are 2 places where you could get support that's consistent with what I'm doing here. And then the last thing is the monthly group program, which I'm still working on getting up and running. But that's also an opportunity.
With the website, will it still be the same password or would it be different?
Oh, okay, so let me back up. What I was mentioning is this. Do you see my website?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so these are the blogs. And so
Okay.
yep, so you just click on it and there's like all the information.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. For the podcast, multiple conversations that I've had with people, like, and they just keep going and going.
It's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot. So there's always some information, if you're looking for insight on a specific topic, there's another place for you to go. When it comes to the accelerator, yes, the the password to get in will stay the same, and if it changes, you'll be notified.
Okay.
You'll be notified. I created a folder and I was gonna send it to you both after today, a folder that has all the videos, like all of your individual recordings, but I can also put all the documents in there as well.
Okay.
So you just have it. Mhm.
It was me trying to save them all to my computer.
Yeah, you don't have to do, yeah, no,
Mhm.
you don't have to do that. I'm happy to um share them with you both in that
Okay.
regard. Okay. So you want to build around your support system. So I'm actually going to give you 2 to 3 minutes, Artrice. I
Mhm.
would like you to take a moment and jot down who can be your internal accountability person, who are your 2 to 3 colleagues, right? And if you have colleagues outside of Reg and Michelle, that's fine too. But like, who are 2 to 3 colleagues that you can meet with and share ideas and experiences with, problem solving together? And what is something like a continuous learning? Like, what is one thing that you are willing to commit to doing to help with your learning? So 2 minutes.
Okay.
You got something?
Mhm.
What does your
Um,
plan look like?
you said what do my plan?
Yeah.
Plan for like after the class?
Well, what you just wrote down in terms of, yeah, what
Okay.
did you write down?
So for my internal accountability, I put Michelle, which she's really good. So I put Michelle.
Mhm,
For my 2 to 3 colleagues, I put, Michelle, Dr. Carey, if I need, like, like, help on anything. I feel like I can't email you with certain things maybe.
mhm,
And I put other directors too for colleagues as far as 2 to 3. Um,
mhm.
as far as continuous learning, I plan on keep putting what you have taught us so far into practice and keep going and keep making resources. I also plan on enrolling in a few courses just to see because I still haven't um like because I know I want to go back to school for something, so I just want to start somewhere. So I do plan on continuing that.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Your plan is clear. It it appears that it is practical, like it's something you'll actually use and do. And so that's part of your succession plan. Like that's awesome, Artrice.
I didn't realize, like, now that I'm thinking, I'm like, oh, I guess that is like what I'm gonna do. Succession plan.
Yeah. Yep. That is awesome. That is awesome. And our succession plans evolve, right? Like as we grow or as our work evolves, our plan has to evolve with it. And that's okay. But we have to be mindful, right? And so, like, just writing things down in that regard and committing to it, right? Whatever it is that we say, we're gonna do, commit to it. And so we don't need to pick these huge lofty goals and steps, but just things that are practical.
Mhm.
That's the most important part. I love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. So there's more, two more pages. So I really want to empower you both. And so here are some things, like some warning signs, right? Just to keep in mind. And whether it comes to um here's something to keep in mind, like as it relates to the training itself, right? And these are guidelines. These aren't the only things, right? So it says managers report training isn't translating to job performance. That, given your organization, that may not be what it looks like, but you can at least say, like, take that as, okay, there seems to be a rumbling that the training isn't working, right? If there are complaints from parents or, what have you. So take it and apply it as you need. Um, Here's some other things to consider, right? When you notice these signs, um, like if you go back, and this is why the like quarterly review or annual review or biannual review is so important because it will help you identify, is the gap still either non-existent or super small? But once the gap starts to get wider and things aren't aligned, that's another way, another thing to consider. Um, and then this is just some additional information. right? So
And
it's
with that, we'll just start over with maybe a new resource or, figure out
Mhm.
what's the gap, why
Mm.
that didn't work.
Right, right. And it's not to say that sometimes you don't need to totally scrap something that you created. Like you said, you just need to make either a small addition or remove an element of it or break it down further, right? So, absolutely, like you've intentionally created what you have. You did it for a purpose. You did it within the Training Accelerator program. And so there was intention around it, intention and attention around it. You just need to look at it through a different lens to make sure it still works. Mhm. Do you, when it comes to like warning signs and ways to correct, based on this page, do you have any questions at all?
Mm. No, that was my only question. I'm glad you put that in there so I know what to look for when something like it's just steps like there. I know
Mhm,
what to look for when something's not working versus not knowing when it's not working, I
mhm,
guess. And I wrote some of them down. I'm like, that kind of can relate. Like if people start, failing or like you said, getting complaints from the parents or
mhm,
answering the same questions over and over, just different things that could help me determine if something is working or not. And
right,
the
right,
evaluation also, like, about the trainings that I have been doing.
right, right. Sometimes you may not hear or see the signs, but you feel it, right? Like you might do a training and you feel it. And so everyone seems, they say they're fine, but you go back to your office and you're like, something isn't like there's something, I don't know what it is. Come to this page and review it and see, and like there's something on here of these, that's 6, 4, 10, 20 bullets.
Mhm,
Something is going to help you identify that's what it is, right? And so even if you can't quite put your finger on it, come back to this. If you just feel it, sense it, feel it in your gut, come back to this, and it should help you. Okay. And then one more page is as you're thinking about like your confidence. So that was one of the things that you mentioned early on. Like, look at what makes you different. Look at what makes you special is you both have had very intensive and specific training over 2 months on how to develop a training, right? So that totally makes you different. It sets you apart. You might not be the oldest person in your organization, but you have a very unique skill set that no one else has. And so I want you to remember that. And, the same holds true for Reg. There are a lot of people that talk about communication and communication effectiveness, but he has vetted his content for decades. And now let's look at how he is training people to be effective. People don't have that. And so this is what makes you all different. And like that very first point, now you are a strategic learning leader with scalable systems. That just goes back to the audit, the gap analysis, designing your plan, creating all of your resources, and implementation. Those are all things that can grow as you grow and as the organization grows.
mhm.
Mhm. And then you made Welcome to the next. I'm so happy for you guys. So happy for both of you. Um, my prayer for both of you is that you are able to use what you've learned and refine it to meet your personal needs and to meet the needs of your learners and soar. So excited for you.
Me too. I'm like, I don't know, I'm not dreading it anymore. So this I could evaluate this because it's not one of the warning sounds. Dreading, facilitating, and initiating. I'm ready to do it now.
That's right. That's
It's
right.
working.
That's right. I love it. I love it. And that's exactly it. We don't have to dread it. We don't have to. Training people can be fun because it's not about you. It's not about you. It's not about
Right.
me, right? It's all about them. And every learner is different. And so being able to watch them learn and develop the skills, it's fun.
Mm-hmm. Very
And
important because you know that you took part of like helping them grow.
yeah, yeah. And you know how to make that, not make it happen, but you know how to support it,
Mm-hmm.
right? All the systems that we've talked about, all the different resources, those are all things that are geared toward supporting adult learners.
Mm-hmm.
So it should be easy and an opportunity for you to be creative, right? Like, what can I create that will help them learn, how to do a handstand, right? Or how to make
Mm-hmm.
eggs, whatever it is. That's what's fun. I think that there's a lot of opportunity for people to be creative.
Right.
Hmm. Hmm. So our Trace, in our final moments, any questions, any final thoughts, any comments?
No, I just really thank you for this program because, like I said, I can see the difference in some of the things I'm doing and a little more confidence. I think I just need to keep practicing it and like you said, don't stop because the program stopped. Just keep going. I feel like probably a month from now or two that I'm gonna be so excited. I'm like, hey, I did this, and I did this too. I'm just excited to see like where it goes from here. Cause
Yeah.
just I don't have that many resources yet. I'm still working on the video, but I know I'm very confident in the evaluation resource, not evaluation, well, the quiz slash
Mhm,
evaluation
mhm.
resource. I know that has helped a lot.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
That is awesome. And it will just grow, right? Your resources will continue to grow. And the other thing is once you create it once, if you have to create like the quiz, let's say, okay, it took you some time to create it the first time.
Mm-hmm.
The next time you have to create another one for a different purpose, it'll take you half the time. And that like it will every time you create something, it will get easier and faster.
Mm-hmm.
And it just becomes easy, second nature.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
shorten it down, I think helped too with people actually taking it versus they seeing like a 30 question quiz and they're like, oh, by this time I'm just pushing whatever button to come first.
Right, right. Oh, B, B, C, C,
Mm-hmm.
A, B, C. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That
Absolutely.
has really helped.
Good. And then there is a bonus for you guys. Let me go back. Um, I lost you. That's what I'm looking. I lost you. There you go. Okay. So there's the bonus, and the bonus is I have collected 15 things that you can download. And print. So they're downloadable, but they're also print. printable.
Mm-hmm.
They're meant for printing, let me just say. And so they are easy to use. I have, so this, in order to do them, I ask that you create is that you complete the assessment for the Training Accelerator. And so there's some pre and post questions, but I would really appreciate it if you filled this out. And when you do, when you finish it, it will take you to a link that has a ton, these 15 downloadables. But I want to show them to you because I think one of them you can training assessment. Okay, here we go. All right, Artrix, let me find you again. I keep losing you, like, okay, can you see them?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so these are all of them. There might even be more than 15, but let's pick a topic. What's something you'll need reminders on?
You can try the first one. Focus
Okay,
on individual needs.
okay. So this is what it looks like. You just print it out, right? So
Mm-hmm.
it's time spent on content. So, when you think about the very first part is you want to engage them. So how can you do that? Well, you can think about past it. Oops, their past experiences, internal motivation, their beliefs, their existing knowledge. We've got the retention piece, the application piece, and then the evaluation,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so
That's a snapshot.
so when you're thinking about content, like up at the top level, engaging them, you're really not focusing on content at all. Um, so yeah, you want to look at another one?
Let's see. Maybe giving helpful feedback.
Okay. So here's when you think about formative and feedback. Summative and formative feedback. So summative feedback is like it's the feedback done at the end. It's for all of the skills. It's typically planned, like, okay, you're at the end of your 90 days. I'm going to give you feedback, or your 1 day training. I'm going to give you feedback. Formative feedback, it's in the moment. It's, oh, before you stick a pin, well, I don't know if you know old diapers, like cloth diapers, but oh,
Mhm.
before you stick a pin and you want to angle it down so you don't poke the baby, right? So it's impromptu feedback. Formative feedback is impromptu, it's in the moment, the goal is to immediately correct. So this is what you get.
Thank you.
You are welcome. You are welcome. So, do you remember the day that you had mentioned we were talking about evaluation and you mentioned not like doing a pre-test? So those questions in the bonus section that for you, it's an example of how, if you don't do a pre-test, what it can look like, how you can get pre-test information and the app like after the fact.
Without doing a pretest, the actual pretest on paper
Mhm.
or something versus
Yeah. Yeah.
just by asking questions and giving time.
Right. So there's another example for you, but we're at 12:02 and I want to be respectful of your time, Archie's. Do you have anything else? Any other questions?
Trying to think of something, but I don't.
Okay, okay, that's good. Um, I want to ask your permission. Are you okay if I use this recording in some of my promotional materials and I'll only use the
Oh, that
audio?
is fine, especially if that's gonna take the place of like me having to talk. Now, I'm still gonna do your evaluation, but if you could put this in it, because I feel like I said like what I would say in
Yeah.
your evaluation.
Yeah, so you are okay with it.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
okay with it.
Yep, I won't use our faces. It'll just
Oh,
be
that's fine.
the
You can use
voice.
my face.
Okay.
Yeah, if you could tweak it to where you could get it, that's fine with me.
Okay, well, thank you for your permission. I
No
appreciate it.
problem.
I appreciate it. And honestly, yeah, filling out the assessment would offer a lot of feedback for me and my business. And so that's why I wanted to gift you all with all the downloadables. And even on Facebook, if you could make a shout out and share the link, that would be awesome.
Do you have like a Facebook page for your business or?
Oh,
hmm
oh, I do. I do. I just created one, a business one, but I think I'm gonna have to delete it because I don't know what I'm doing. And so I could just use my own personal one.
Website.
Yeah. So either my own personal Facebook and it's me wearing this shade of blue or the website.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Thank you.
No problem. Thank you, Dr. Carey.
You are so welcome. It has been an absolute honor, an absolute honor. So I will follow up and send you guys a host of information and to keep you going and just let me know. Let me
All right.
and with the monthly group program, like the monthly check-in.
As far as that reflection, we go on the same website that we log into with the password to get to it. Okay.
Yep, yep, it's just at the very bottom.
Alrighty.
Uh,
Thank you.
you're welcome, my friend.
Family information.
All righty. And look, if you are, I won't be at church this weekend, but if you go to Cornerstone one day, try to find me and ask Michelle, where's Gary Fitton? Where's she at?
uh-huh.
I would love to give you a hug and see you.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, you're
I
welcome.
will. I will. I randomly like pop in and out. So
Yeah, let me know. I will be out of town this weekend, but let me know. Mhm.
okay. Well, enjoy your trip.
Boy, thank you, thank you, thank you. And have a good rest of your week, okay?
You too.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye bye.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.